What is up, guys? In today's video we have another inside the mind style video. I'm going to walk you through my thoughts and decisions as I play in Fortnite Zero Build. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like to see more, and comment down below what you think of Superman and his powers. Do you think that he is too weak and that he should be buffed, or do you think he's just right as he is? I personally think that he's quite weak. I don't mind him being quite weak, but I think that a majority of players would probably be happier if Superman is stronger and more deadly, especially if it's going to be a limited time thing anyways. Like, if somebody could get Superman and then that was just like a ticket to winning the game, then I get, you know, that being frustrating. But the way it is, like, it's, you have a limited amount of time you can play as Superman as is, so like having him be powerful during that time, I think, is what a lot of people would enjoy. And I kind of expect Fortnite to buff it. Epic's break, I believe, ends next week and they'll be back. And so I think they kind of just wanted to launch it in a more tame state rather than it just being incredibly out of hand while they were away. That's my guess, at least. And we will be getting the Fortress of Solitude POI on Tuesday, which is from Superman. So maybe Superman gets a big buff with that coming in. Then Brutal Boxcars. This is going to be a POI that I've enjoyed the entire chapter, but the main reason I'm landing here right now is just because I feel like with Superman being in the game, landing kind of near the middle of the map is something that makes a lot of sense, because most of his spawn locations are kind of over in this area. And I personally would rather just not even play as Superman than to play as him. If you're able to do a bit of damage to him, you'll get his boon. Oh, this player has a bird. It's going to be a problem. They're on my roof. I don't have any mobility. They dropped down. I'm going to try to get to this window so I have right shoulder peek. He's coming around the other side. And he would have had right shoulder peek from right here if I stayed where I was. Oh, he's actually like under the staircase. I saw his gun poking through the wall right there. But I backed up because if he went right here, he would have had right shoulder peek. He goes into his bird form, but he's not going to get very far. Maybe he does. They ran out of sprint at like just the perfect time for him to escape. Oh, we get it. Unfortunately, it seems like that might be the only mobility item I get here. There's a scanner on the other hero item, which is something I enjoy having, but the mist cape as my only mobility is not something I prefer. But it is a, you know, solid mobility item. It's just not necessarily what I would prefer, and the amount of mobility you get out of it is just not the greatest. Like that player there, I knew I was going to be able to, I was like pretty certain I was going to be able to get that elimination and catch up to him. He bought a little bit of time with the cape, but he wasn't really ever going to get away to the point where he could like survive and reset. When you combine it with the gloves, the cooldown is much faster, and I believe it lasts longer when you use it, so it gets a lot better. But at that point, it's taking up 2 inventory slots. Okay, Superman is spawning in this game. That's great. Let's see where he spawns. It's over here. As I said, I don't really care to become Superman, but I would really like to get that boon. I don't know if I got to explain what his boon does because the player like kind of landed on me. But what his boon does is it improves your sprint speed, but also makes it to where your sprint doesn't consume stamina, or doesn't consume as much stamina. And like all the other boons we have, that kind of scales with your hero rank. So if you're able to get to like A tier hero rank or S tier hero rank, you sprint very fast and consume very little stamina. And if you become Superman, there's no way for you to get that boon because the boon is just obtained by dealing damage to him. No orange sprites nearby. One thing that, like, Superman is dangerous, but he's quite weak in terms of like the amount of HP. Like, he can go down pretty quick. Okay, what I was about to say is I don't like my lack of mobility for dealing with him. I would like to have the gloves and the scanner, but since I'm going to be going to the Superman area, I kind of want to have double mobility just in case. And someone already got him. I need to get over there before they die. Okay, nice. We got the boon. Now I can just leave. I'm probably going to hang out over here and try to get some eliminations and stuff. But if all you wanted to do is get the boon and play it somewhat safe, just get it and get out. Because as you see, this is like usually a pretty chaotic area. Lots of people kind of racing over here to be the first person to get Superman. And then because of that, there's just usually a lot of players in this area. And then you obviously have to deal with Superman himself as well. But I want to get these eliminations. Island spawning far away. Like, the best thing to do, I think, in this scenario would just be to go island. Because as I was just talking about, this area is going to be very populated. And so island would be pretty free, I think, at this point in time. And the core medallion, I think, is incredibly good. The two things I think that improve your chances of winning this season the most are probably the core medallion and getting mythic base boost gloves. But I kind of want to get, you know, in some more fights for the video, so I'm not just trying to just straight up win. So that's why I explained that. If all you want to do is win, get the medallion, get out, go get island. You'll be good to go. Being greedy here. Should be able to get this big off. I was trying to save my bigs and then go and get the chug from the elimination I got over there. The reason I typically don't carry the chug is because it takes a bit longer to start healing, which is something I don't prefer. And then also in situations like this, once you use it a bit, it just gets worse. Like, imagine I used that chug there for the, you know, 80-ish I was missing. It's 100 at that point. I guess it's the same as 2 bigs, but like with bigs, you can kind of find more over time. I don't think it's the biggest deal one way or the other, though. Both heals are good, as just preference. Now I'm probably going to go back towards the A crate that was at Brutal. Hopefully get mythic gloves there. And then make my way towards island. Unfortunately, we didn't get any cars at Brutal. This entire game, I think, would have been a bit... not necessarily easier, but just like faster had I got cars there. There's a player here. We can kill them. I think they're an AI. Walking around a little lost. My guns are solid. Not the greatest rarity, but solid. Where was my... I think my scanner was over here. Dashes. Oh, I threw it, but didn't get it. I wanted the double mobility because I was going into that area that was going to be really hot, but I could just take the scanner and gloves now. There is an Overlord Spire here, but I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to get the crate and then go for island. I'm going to be very late on island, though. Like, we're already quite late, and I know there's no cars here. Luckily, I got that boon, though, that improves my sprint. And I was wasting my sprint a bit there by jumping. But I'll try to show you guys just how great it is. Perfect. Try to show you guys how great it is. This is just A tier. But look at how low my stamina is draining quite slow right now. It gets even better at S tier. But I'm going faster and consuming less stamina. It's a huge improvement to your sprint getting that Superman boon. Someone did get Daigo medallion, but no one got cores yet. I expect there to be players to fight in this area. I accidentally wasted a dash there. But it doesn't seem like it. The core's icon on the island isn't moving or anything. And she moves around a lot when you fight her. Finally, we have a car. This boon gives you a huge improvement to your sprint, which is really nice, but it doesn't make me not want to use cars at all. Like, cars I think are still really great, especially just for having mobile cover. And if I'm able to defeat core here, we should be able to get S tier from it, because you get a good amount of hero points from that. Nice. Some shots under me. Now we got S tier, which is further going to improve my sprint, which is what I really wanted. We can open the S tier crates as well, but getting my sprint boon fully leveled up. Great. These are actually AI fighting down there. I'm pretty sure. Just the way they're both just kind of standing out in the open, trading AR tags, not really doing anything. I want to look for the other medallion now. I don't see them on the map, but I'm probably just going to go towards the gas station. With it being somewhat the center of the map, I think by the time I get there, we'll probably be able to see the other medallion. You need to be like close enough to them for them to appear on the map. I reload my pump as well. And this area is just quite hot in general. Enemy over there. Deep, but I think it may have been another AI. There's also an S tier crate over here. Okay, here's the medallion over at Foxy. I'm going to go for this S tier crate, probably eliminate some people, and then go for the medallion afterwards. I think they're down in that lab right now, and I don't feel like dealing with that. This is not real, I don't think. I would like to get a gold pump out of this chest. This guy's going to have height on me, but it might be okay. A lot of people like over peak when they have height. He doesn't have as much... Oh, he's grappling me. I got to go. I was going to say, he doesn't actually have as much cover as me, despite having high ground. And so I think I could have easily got shots on him and then pushed. But the player with the Robin grappler was grappling behind me, so I didn't want to be caught between those two players, so I tried to reposition. The medallion is over here now as well. I think they're, yeah. I was going to say, I think they're gliding in from that lab area. This should be a kill. Okay, nice. Surfboard is nice and all, but not the greatest at just getting away. I'm gonna scan real quick. I don't know if this player knows I'm here. Nice. Now we have grapple. I wish I had time for another scan, but it's whatever. So right there, I thought that somebody was chasing that car, and I was right. Like the way that fight was going, it seemed like that car was trying to flee from somebody. And so I was hoping to catch timing on the player that was winning that fight and then punish them with that timing, which is what ended up happening. He was too tunnel visioned on the other person he was fighting and not aware of the fact that I was there. If I had shot at that car, then he would have known I was there, and we would have had not as easy of a start to that fight. And that player could have been great, but it just, the start to the fight was so heavily in my favor that it's hard for him to overcome it. Especially because I get first shot and then sprint jump behind him with the core invisibility medallion. And that guy with the car, like, even if I shoot at him, I'm probably not going to get that elimination anyways, right? Like, he's just trying to leave. I don't know how weak the car was, but I think just letting him leave and dealing with the person that's staying here is a better play. Rather than maybe destroying the car, I probably don't get the elimination, and then I'm just caught in between two players again. I see a lot of people, you know, complaining about the amount of third parties. Not necessarily this season, but just always in Fortnite, people are complaining about third parties. Thing. I wanted to dash to his car and then get driver's seat, because I expected him to get in the car with me weakening him there. And so if I dash to it and get driver's seat before he gets in, then we don't, like, remove his ability to just leave. But what I was trying to say is people are always complaining about third parties, and like it's something that's going to happen for sure. But so much of outplaying those situations or surviving those situations is just like nipping them in the bud before they're a problem. Like, I had this fight over here where there was an enemy right here, and then I was behind that rock, and I wanted to take that fight. I thought it was going to go in my favor. But as soon as I thought I was about to get pinched, I just left. And then, similar situation over here. If I had just shot at the car right away, then one player's here, I'm over here shooting at the car, and the car is leaving. I'm just a free kill. Like, avoiding those situations before they're like actually a problem, and then also just like prioritizing a more threatening target is something that will make your game so much easier. It's very easy to just watch gameplay of somebody making all the right decisions during a game or making like good decisions throughout the course of the game and be like, wow, that looked so easy. But like the reason why it was so easy is because I was putting myself in the right spot or making decisions to like avoid the bad fights, you know? And I think that's just like one thing with gaming in general that a lot of people kind of struggle with watching gameplay, is it just looks so easy when other people do it because they're making it easier on themselves through the decisions they make. Like right here, I just backed up because I had shot that lizard for a somewhat insignificant amount of damage, and then he got to a right shoulder peak, so chasing that I don't think would be good. And then also I had multiple footsteps, and so I don't want to be here when there's multiple people here like that. Like I don't want to be pushing an unnecessary kill in a risky situation if there's another enemy just there to third party, you know? It turns out the other footsteps I saw were his AI, but I didn't know that at the time. And so I just, you know, reset the situation. I was hoping they would fight and then I could third party it. I don't really enjoy fighting at that mansion at all. I have 3 opponents at this point in time though. Which may or may not be real, because killed a lot of crown players this game. In that mid-map area. And we do have zone reveal because I'm S tier with that boon. Oh, there's somebody really rifted. Wait, I want to show you guys the sprint. So this is the sprint at S tier. Look at how slow my stamina is draining and how fast I'm going. And go get the gold rush here, which is going to make me go even faster. And this is why I was saying I think it's better to not become Superman. That way you can damage him and get that boon. Because Superman is temporary. No matter what, even if you're the best player in the game with it, best player in the world with it, it's going to go away after like 4.5 minutes. But this boon will stay with you for the remainder of the game and something that can like help you throughout the entire match. And just having, you know, better sprint and more stamina like this isn't something that's just going to like, you know, auto win you fights or auto win you the game. But it just makes everything about moving your character just more convenient. The less you run out of sprint, the more, like, just the better things are going to be for you, I think. This player is a mist form. I don't want to fight this. A lot of players struggle with the mist, gloves, and cape combo. And I think, like, the biggest thing that holds people back with that... that's not good. That's not what I want to do. I was trying to get out of the car there, but I messed it up. What I was going to say is a lot of people struggle dealing with, like, the mist, cape, and gloves combo because people just jump on you with it. But I think just, like, getting away from it before they get on you is ideal. Like, I've seen so many people that, like, the bird is flying at them and they're just, like, aiming at the bird, waiting for the person to untransform. And that'll definitely work if you already have them weak. But someone who's full HP that's just jumping on you with the gloves, that is not going to work out. That was an AI. And so if that player is trying to miscape onto me, I'm just dipping with gloves right away. Bro, my cars are trolling me right now. I messed up getting out of one, and then that one I flip over. I don't know if he saw me cross, though, because I was invisible. I think he did. That's like 130 damage, I think. Using my dashes to reposition here. Miscaping. I like cannot grapple correctly today for some reason. I keep messing it up. I'm spraying this tree down while not exposed. Alright, that was such a bizarre fight, man. Okay, so he didn't even have the gloves. But still, if someone's trying to jump on you with the cape, just get out of there. When he was sitting behind that tree, I was trying to spray it out while not exposed from the rock. That's another thing that just makes things slightly easier. If you're going to spray out their cover, you don't need to expose yourself in some situations, especially because it's a tree that's tall. And so I maybe could have sprayed that out and then beamed him, but he got to another tree. And then I chose to push him with the, core sprint jumps. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like. Subscribe if you'd like to see more. Let me know down in the comments below if you think Superman should be buffed or if you think it's fine how it is. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.